Swami Dayananda Saraswati's 19th century thesis posits the syllable Om as a comprehensive linguistic nexus. In this framework, Om functions as a polymorphic container, systematically organizing every possible attributive name for the ultimate reality. This structure is visible in the phonetic breakdown of the word. Om comprises three pillars: A, U, and M. The letter A dictates the names Virat, Agni, and Vishwa. The letter U dictates Hiranyagarbha, Vayu, and Taijasa, and M dictates Ishwara, Aditya, and Prajna. 9 distinct attributes emerge from a single phonetic root. To understand why one entity requires multiple names, we must apply the Sanskrit rule of Prakarana, or contextual meaning. Under this rule, a word's definition is not static. It is strictly determined by its operational context within a sentence. The text provides a logical paradigm for this, the word Saindhava. When a master is traveling and tells a servant to bring Saindhava, the context of movement defines the word as horse. When that same master is eating and requests Saindhava, the context of the meal defines it as salt. Ignoring the rule of Prakarana forces functional adjectives into rigid, literal interpretations. When the specific operational context is stripped away, these various attributes are misread as independent mythological figures rather than descriptions of a singular subject. Applied to theology, words like Virat, Agni, and Deva describe physical elements like fire or matter when the context is creation or destruction. However, when the context shifts to omniscience or omnipresence, those same terms identify the Supreme Being. This linguistic standard is anchored in the Chandaka, Mundakya, Kathopanishad, and Kaivalya Upanishads. It forms the internal logic of the Manusmriti and the foundational architecture of the Rigveda, Atharvaveda, and Samaveda. This logic defines the phrase Om Kam Brahma. In this protocol, Om acts as the protector. Kam denotes an omnipresence identical to space, and Brahma identifies the greatest of all possible entities. The traditional Shantipath applies the same precision by invoking peace 3 times. Each repetition targets a specific vector of suffering: Adhyatmika, or internal pains, Adhibhautika, threats from external beings, and Adidaivika, which are natural or cosmic disruptions. The Vedic framework uses these syntactical rules to describe a singular reality. By enforcing this grammar, the perceived pantheon of distinct gods begins to dissolve into a coherent monotheistic system. We map this system through an etymological matrix. Every divine name reduces to its operational Sanskrit verb root, or dhatu, revealing cosmic mechanics. The first 4 set the baseline: Virat, the universal illuminator; Agni, the omniscient; Vishva, the all-pervading; and Hiranyagarbha, generating luminous bodies. The tree branches into forces of power: Vayu, the mightiest annihilator; Taijasa, the self-illuminating; and Ishvara, possessing infinite power. Items 8 through 11 add Aditi and Aditya, signifying the indestructible, and Prajna, the infallible knower of universal laws. The lexicon adds Brihaspati, lord of macrocosms; Mitra, the friend; Varuna, acceptor of the righteous; Aryama, the judge; and Indra, the absolute power. Expansion continues through Vishnu, the omnipresent; Urukrama, the infinite energy; Brahma, the universe expander; and Surya, the illuminator. The matrix completes this phase with Atma and Paramatma, the continuous paraders of souls; Parameshvara, the supreme capability; and Savita, the creator of the universe. By reducing these titles to their verb roots, the figures of Indra, Brahma, Vishnu, and Surya lose their status as independent deities. They are revealed instead as linguistic variables describing the mechanics of a single cosmos.
The word deva, from the root divu, fractures into 10 distinct sub-meanings, encompassing self-illumination and universal dissolution. Physical parameters emerge: Kubera, the omnipresent cover; Prithvi, the expander; Jala, the atom organizer; and Akasha, the universal illuminator. The matrix identifies Ana, Anata, and Atta as consumers of the universe; Vasu, the ultimate residence; Rudra, the dispenser of Karna; and Narayana. Planetary names: Chandra, Mangala, Buddha, Shukra, Shanishtura, Rahu, Ketu, are redefined as states of bliss, knowledge, and refuge. familial roles apply to the absolute, Yajna, the universal unifier, Hota, the ultimate giver, Bandhu, the binder of physical laws, alongside protective ancestry like Pita, Pitameha, Prapitameha, and Mata. Finally, Acharya and Guru appear as eternal teachers. These terms, seemingly describing planets or human hierarchies, are revealed as structural metadata for a singular, caring intelligence. The tree branches into abstract concepts with Aja, the unborn atom combiner, and Brahma, the continuous constructor. Existence is defined through Satya as reality, Jnana as the ultimate knower, Ananta the limitless, Anadi the predecessorless, and Ananda as pure bliss. These merge with Sat and Chit. Combined with Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, and Mukta, they form an eternal, conscious state. Formlessness is addressed. Nirakav has zero physical shape. Niranjana separates from desire. Ganesha masters matter. And Vishveshvara acts as the unaltered foundation. The roots of Deva resolve into Devi, alongside Shakti for absolute capability, Shri and Lakshmi for beauty and the ultimate goal, and Saraswati for knowledge. The linguistic parallel between Deva and Devi clearly proves the supreme entity transcends all physical form, including biological sex. The final expansion maps Sarvashaktiman, Nyayakari, and Dayalu. Advaita denotes a void of second entities, resolving the paradox of Nirguna and Saguna. This proves an entity can lack material properties while possessing absolute divine traits. Next are Antaryami, the interior permeator, and karma administrators Dharmaraja and Yama. These join Bhagavan, Manu, Purusha, and Vishwambara as cognitive reality. The mathematical calculator Kala, the intact remainder Shesha, and generating forces like Mahadeva and Priya solidify the structure. The lexicon concludes with Swayambhu, the self-existent, Kavi, the supreme instructor, and Shiva, the embodiment of welfare and architect of benevolence. 100 attributes condensed into 100 verbs. When subjected to strict grammatical translation, the Vedic pantheon collapses back into a single supreme reality. This logic also redefines the Mangalacharna, or auspicious invocation. Under Sankhya philosophy, this is not a magical opening phrase. It is the continuous, lifelong execution of truth and justice from the beginning of a task to its completion. Modern invocations like Shri Ganeshaya Namah or Shivaya Namah contradict this ancient protocol. These phrases represent a later mythological layer that sits outside the linguistic logic established in the Vedas. The ancient sages in Arsha texts followed a different methodology. They invoked the ultimate reality using only precise, rule-bound words, specifically the words Om or Atha. Historical evidence supports this. Patanjali's Mahabhashya, the Purva Mimamsa, the Vaisheshika, the Yoga Sutras, Sankhya Sutras, Vedanta Sutras, and the Upanishads all begin identically with Atha or Om. Swami Dayanand's thesis concludes that the ultimate reality remains accessible only through the unyielding mechanics of Sanskrit grammar. This rigorous approach replaces the divided pantheons of myth with an absolute, functional monism.